Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back to Unwind Flow Yoga. I'm Amanda and I'll be guiding you through today's practice. Today's class is for the ovulation phase of the cycle. So there's a couple of things I want to talk about before we get into it. First of all, if you don't know when that is, that's fine. You can think about it as the midpoint in your cycle. So if you have a 28-day cycle, you might want to do a class like this on day 12, 13, 14, somewhere in there to really get the benefits. Or if you're trying to conceive, you might know when that day is for you as well. And so what's happening at this phase of the cycle is we really want to be boosting what's happening we really want to be boosting our energy and taking advantage of that to really spark that ovulation. And so for today's class, we're going to be doing a little bit more rapid movement and a little bit more movement. Something I want to say as well, if you are trying to conceive, this might be a more stressful time of the month. And so integrating a class like this, just allow yourself to go through the movements, try not to overthink it, because what we want to be using our yoga practice to support ourselves to be reducing that stress and that tension. So when you're ready, come into a seated position. I'm starting off in Virasana here, supported on a block. So if you have a block nearby, you can sit like that as well. If you don't have one or Virasana is not comfortable for you, feel free to sit in Sukhasana or however is more comfortable for you, and that might even be sitting in a chair. And so as I mentioned, this cycle is really about feeling that boost, and connected to that sense of a boost is a sense of warmth. And so I like to sort of imagine as I'm going through a practice like this, that I'm sort of like stirring up my energy. And if you cook a lot like I do, and you're sort of stirring something that's like thick or like a grain that takes a long time to cook. I know this sounds weird, but it'll make sense as we go through the class, and you're like stirring it and you're mixing it up, and then you notice it kind of settling. That's what we're going to be doing in today's class. So we'll be doing some rapid movements, and then to really connect to that sense of warmth, and then having pauses where we sort of notice how everything's settling back down. So to sort of kickstart that sense of warmth, we're going to be doing kapalabhati for our pranayama today. Before we get into that, I'll just invite you to connect to just the natural cycle of your breath. So take a breath in through the nose, take a breath out through the nose, and just notice how good it feels just to take a few breaths. Not worrying about anything that I was talking about so far in the introduction. Just allowing it to be about the breath. And then I'll talk about our kapalabhati, but just stay with your breath. So kapalabhati means skull shining breath. And what, we don't have to worry about that for today's class, but what happens in this type of breath is we do an active exhale and a passive inhale. And the active exhale really comes from the belly. So it's like a pressing the air out. And as we press the air out, the inhale just happens naturally, so we never really run out of our breath. And we do want it to be sort of at a quick pace, but you can slow this down depending on how you're feeling today, if you've done kapalabhati before or you haven't. So take a breath in, exhale, let it go. We'll do one more breath and then we'll start that kapalabhati. Take a breath in, exhale, take an inhale to prepare, and then exhale. Continuing. Really feeling like you're pressing the breath out from the abdomen. Nothing else really moves. Take about 5 more rounds. And then let it go. Exhale all the breath out. Take a breath in. Notice that subtle shift, a little bit of warmth. Notice things sort of got stirred up there. And then from here, we're going to continue with some rapid movements. I'm just going to turn to face the side, but you can continue facing however makes sense for you. So in our seated pose, we're going to come into a rapid cat and cow sort of movement, but really comes from the pelvis here. Everything else is sort of extra. So if you want to just practice a little bit of that on your own, where you're arching the spine to press the tailbone back behind you and then tuck it under. And then see if you can start to move through this. It doesn't have to be on the breath. We're just getting this movement into the pelvis. Notice that you can start off being small and then make it larger if that makes sense for you, but doesn't have to be any particular range of motion. And if you want to add the arms, you can take the arms behind the head, inhale, open, exhale. And then maybe once you sort of have the hang of it, you try a little bit of that kapalabhati. So as you exhale, try 3 more. And then pause, stirring it up and then releasing. And then from here, we're going to transition to one of my not so favorites. We're going to come into broken toe pose as we warm up the upper body and the chest a little bit. So I like to support my knees. So I'm tucking all 10 toes under, and then I'm going to rest my knees on the block just so it's not as much pressure on the toes. Broken toe pose is great if you are a runner or anything like that to stretch the feet. I used to say if you wore high heels a lot, but I've worn high heels in a while, so just enjoying this little bit of a stretch. And this pose also connects us to all of the meridians that run through the feet that can be really helpful. And then our upper body, for a little bit of that opening, we're going to take our arms into kind of like these cactus or goalpost arms. The palms are going to face down, and we'll continue to face forward, but just start to twist the upper body a little bit side to side. Hopefully this gentle twisting is a distraction for whatever is going on in the feet. I know that it is for me. Remember that you can look forward the whole time. And then once again, if you want to try that little bit of kapalabhati here, exhaling each time you twist. Inhale brings you back through center. Try 4, 3, 2, and 1. Start to let it go here. Release broken toe pose, come off of your prop. I like to give the feet a little bit of a tap there. Start to feel the circulation back into the feet. All right, so from here, coming into a tabletop, making any little adjustments here, spread the fingers wide. The hips are going to be over the knees. And then we'll start to move our breath here, getting a little bit of compression for the side body. So I'll invite you to extend the left leg just out behind you and create a nice long spine here. We're going to take our inhale to cross the right foot cross the left foot towards the right side of your mat, and we're just tapping the toes down. So this is going to be our inhale. And then our exhale is to draw the left knee towards the left elbow and really see how close you can get it. So this is our exhale. Once again, a little bit of that forceful exhale. Inhale, cross. Exhale, squeeze. Trying this on your own. Inhale, exhale. Making this as slow or as quick as you like. Getting a little bit of that core activation as well. Compression on the left side of the body as we squeeze and then release. Try 2 more on the side. When you finish your last one, bring the knees together and then pause. We'll try that on the right side. Take your inhale to extend the right leg up behind you. Pause for the exhale. Feel a little bit of that core awareness. And then cross. Take the right toes over to the left. Take a big inhale. And then exhale, squeeze. Right knee, right elbow. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Your pace though, if you're going slower or faster than me, let's try 2 more. And then once you finish that last one, pause there, tabletop pose. Allow yourself to be still. Noticing what you just stirred up there. And then from here, let's take it into downward facing dog. Tuck the toes under, press down through the hands and the feet, knees lift, hips lift, up and back, downward facing dog. And take a moment, pedal up the legs, one knee, then the other. A lot of what we've been doing so far takes effort. So see if you can let your down dog feel a little bit easy. And then right away we'll come into a flow. And it's a simple flow that we're going to repeat. So we'll go through it the first time all together, nice and slow. And then I'll let you adjust if you'd like to go slower or faster. Take an inhale, take your right leg up. On an exhale, right foot steps in between the hands. We're going to rise up for crescent lunge. Inhale. On an exhale, sweep halfway forward. So reach the crown of the head forward, arms sweep back. And then inhale, warrior three or Jikasana. Exhale, come back into that arrow shape on an angle. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands to floor. Step back, downward facing dog. So that's one side. We'll do that slow on the left side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left foot steps in between the hands. Rise up, crescent lunge. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, halfway forward. Chest reaches, arms are active. Press off the back toes, lift up for warrior three. Exhale, toes find the floor. Come into this leaning crescent. Inhale, crescent pose, arms reach up. Exhale, hands find the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. And we'll repeat. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, right foot steps in between the hands. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, leaning crescent. Inhale, warrior three. Exhale, leaning crescent. Inhale, we'll reach the arms up. Exhale, hands find the floor. Step back, downward facing dog, left side. Take your inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left foot steps forward. Moving here on your breath. See if you can let it feel easeful. No rush. No need to achieve a particular depth or range of motion. Seeing if we can reconnect to this idea of our warmth and we're stirring something up. Hands on the floor, downward facing dog. And you can always let the down dog in the middle be a little bit longer, or you can continue. Your call, you get to decide. Let's take one more round to each side. Last time we do the left. Exhale, hands find the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Pause there. Take a breath in. Exhale, release. Option to stay in downward dog or come into a child's pose here. Or come into a little bit of a longer rest. Giving yourself this opportunity to pause, to notice. Taking advantage of this little boost of energy. And then we'll come into our next short flow. So if you're not in downward facing dog, make your way there. Inhale, take the right leg up. Exhale, right foot steps forward, reverse warrior this time. So ground the back foot down, windmill arms up and overhead, and just take a moment in reverse warrior. Deep bend in the right knee, knee over ankle, right arm reaches. So this is going to be pose 1. Our second pose is going to be revolved crescent. Yes, that's it. So pose 2. So we really have to do a lot to get there. What I want you to think about is this left hip here, how it's going to need to turn as we come onto the ball of our left foot. So when you're ready, slowly start to transition here. Turn the leg, pick up the back heel, twisting over to your right. Hook the left elbow onto the right thigh, open the chest. Inhale, cut back, reverse warrior. And we're just going to flow between these 2 poses. So take as much time as you like. You can make this as big or as small as you would like as well. Pausing in one pose or the other. Take one more, coming into your revolved crescent. And then inhale, come back, reverse warrior. And this time we're just going to straighten that front leg as much as it's comfortable, coming into this straight leg, reverse warrior. And I really want you to think about this space that we're creating on the right side of the body. Connecting to the feet. Connect to this entire right side. Doing the right pinky. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Stay where you are and pause. I'm just going to turn so I keep facing you. Coming onto the left side, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left foot steps in between the hands, reverse warrior. Ground the back heel flat. Inhale, reach the left arm over. Taking a moment here, set yourself up, so new side here. On your exhale, start to transition into revolved crescent. So hands come towards heart center. We're going to rotate the back leg, so we're coming onto the ball of the right foot. And then exhale, hook the elbow. Chest broad. Inhale, rise back up, reverse warrior. Exhale, revolved crescent. Your pace here. Taking what you need to make this possible. And notice that we don't need to be doing a lot of rapid movements in this one to get that sense of warmth, because there's a lot going on. There's a lot related to our stability that's happening, our compression and extension. Let's do one more. Exhale. And then as we inhale, reverse warrior, and then pause in that straight leg triangle. Perfect. Exhale, windmill the hands down towards the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Pause there. And then exhale, bring the knees towards the ground. And once again, we'll take that feeling moment. Allowing ourselves to notice what we stirred up in those poses. And coming back into this sense of connection as we slow down our class a little bit now. So from here, we're going to come into half Virasana. So we're in Virasana at the beginning of our class. I'm going to start off on the left side. So I was in just a kneeling shape before, just adjusted the calf muscle there so it's a little bit out of the way. So I'm keeping my left leg in Virasana. My right leg is just going to come foot to the floor. So we're in half Virasana. And we have the option to stay sitting upright. You can always sit on something, or if you have the space, you can start to lean back. And my two sides are very different. So I'm going to stay a little bit more upright on this one, but what I want to be focusing on is the stretch here along the front of my thigh on my quad muscle. No tension in the low back here. And this pose really helps us to connect in with the earth element, and in traditional Chinese medicine, which is important at this time of the cycle. Our sense of connection. Everything being integrated towards this time. Noticing here as we stay in the stretch, you might feel a little bit of warmth. We don't always have to know everything about what's happening. We don't have to have all the answers. Sometimes if you're feeling it, you're doing it. Things are unfolding exactly as they should. Starting to make your way back up. Bringing both feet to the floor this time. You can extend both legs and give them a little bit of a shake there. Doing that same thing on the right. So left foot will come to the floor. Move the right calf out of the way as we bring our right foot this time into Virasana. So half Virasana. And same setup here, just on a new side. So left foot is on the floor. I'm thinking about extending my right knee forward and keeping a little bit of that connection to the floor. If you have space, you can start to walk yourself back to lie down, arm to elbows, your choice. Remembering no tension in the low back. Noticing the sensations of this pose. See if you can feel something being stirred up, things moving and shifting, things feeling active, even though we're still. Take another breath in. And then exhale, slowly make your way up. Extend both legs. A little bit of compression and then release there. And then we're just going to come to lie all the way down on the back here. With the knees in towards the chest. Coming into a supine twist. Take both knees, drop them over to your left. Arms come out into a T or cactus, whatever you have room for in your space. And then see if you can drop in. Taking this time to reflect on our class today, thinking about our kapalabhati breath, stirring things up from the inside out. Thinking about our flows, how we were able to move freely. Using the strength of our muscles to make all the poses possible. Noticing yourself having so many possibilities. Taking advantage of opportunities as they come your way. Knowing what's meant for you will find you. Take that next breath in, slowly switch sides. Knees come back through center, drop the knees over to your right. And among all these opportunities, sometimes we choose to rest. knowing that rest is as important or not more important than being active, being in motion. Take another breath in there. Exhale, let it go. And then from here, bring the knees back through center, pause. We're moving towards Shavasana, and I'll offer you a little bit of an option here for a little bit of that chest opening for our Shavasana. So I'm going to take a roll, just a gentle roll here, lining it up with the bottom tips of my shoulder blades here, so behind my rib cage. Getting a little opening for the chest as I rest here in Shavasana. Arms can be out like a T or by the sides, whatever you have room for here, with or without the roll. And once you found your shape, just take a few breaths before diving in completely. Using these breaths to start to seal in your practice. From here, enjoying about a minute of quiet before I let you know when it's time to reawaken. Slowly beginning to deepen your breath. Reawakening here with some gentle movements. If you have the space, you can take the arms up and overhead. And then slowly roll over onto one side. As you're ready here, press yourself up and we'll end off our practice all together. Take an inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, touch the palms, take the hands through heart center. Thumbs press in towards the chest. Feel a sense of warmth from the body into the fingers, fingers into the body. Taking a moment to extend gratitude to yourself for making it to your mat today and doing something that's maybe a little bit different. Trying something maybe for the first time and just noticing what you can stir up. Knowing that you have the tools to settle and integrate whatever you find. I'd like to thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Namaste.